Welcome back to English 4.0, the radio show. Let's go! Advanced.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. Here we are in the advanced portion of class number 191. The countdown is on. 5 more, and then it's all over. So I'm going to start to take a look at some specifics, some specific questions, the style and structure of questions that you will see in your exam, in your test at the end of this course, for those of you who are officially enrolled in the program and following all the material. But I'm not going to do that today. I will get to that. I will get around to it, if you know what I mean, to get around to something, to do something when you have the opportunity. And I will, before the end of the radio course, include some specific, the style of questions. I will say I'll give you some example questions, and we'll work through those together on the program, and that will be hopefully quite helpful to those of you who are going to be writing the test, taking the test at the end of this course on radio, TV, internet, so on. And if for those of you who are not taking the course, I encourage you to look into it. Investigate it, look into it, because we will be starting the course again on the radio, TV, internet, and everything very soon. I don't want to say the date because, I don't know the date, but keep your eyes and ears open. Stay tuned in, and you can find out about the new start date for the course again so that you can take advantage of it from the start, because it's very thorough. It's very complete, and I'm sure that you can learn a lot with this course. And now we'll get started with a little review. Yesterday, I was showing off. To show off is essentially, do you remember this? Essentially when you do something to draw attention to yourself. Yeah. Like, hey everybody, look at my muscles, or look at my football skills, and I start juggling the football. For example, I'm showing off. I'm trying to draw attention to myself. To show off. Now, I don't try to show off. I try not to show off, right? So we have the verb, the phrasal verb, to show off, and we also have the noun. He's a show-off. He's such a show-off. Oh, man, stop being such a show-off. When I was young, I wasn't a show-off, but I had a few friends in school who were show-offs. They used to show off all the time in front of the girls, trying to show off, trying to impress everyone, trying to draw attention. So the phrasal verb to show off. And we also have to brag, B-R-A-G. So presumir, jactarse, I suppose, jactarse, presumir, to brag. This is when you verbally say, hey, I did this. I did 100 push-ups, flexiones. I did 100 push-ups without stopping. That's right. I'm the greatest. And I'm bragging. B-R-A-G, to brag. Not brag, but brag. Brag. Right. To brag. So bragging is more verbally, whereas showing off is more creating a scene, making a show for people to see that the skills that you have, because you want to be recognized for something that you could do or something that you have as well. You can show off your car. You can show off your new watch. Hey, everybody, look at my new watch. It's a Rolex. It's fantastic. I'm showing off my watch. I'm showing it off. So it's a separable phrasal verb. I'm showing it off. He shows his things off. He shows everything off, right? To show off. All right, now the other thing we saw yesterday, we were looking at the Well, in fact, ways of expressing what we call this zero-conditional structures. So structures that are essentially always true. And we use the structure if, we change the if that we normally see to should. So, for example, if the prices go up, don't buy so much. Now, using this structure, we can say, should the prices go up, don't buy so much. If we need their help, ask them politely. Should we need their help, ask them politely. So it's very similar to the if, but what we're doing is using the infinitive, okay? If the gas tank is empty, fill it up. Should the gas tank be empty, fill it up. If the government raises taxes, raise prices. Should the government raise taxes, raise prices. If I'm in a meeting, don't expect me to answer my phone. Should I be in a meeting, don't expect me to answer my phone. So the second part is the same, okay? The condition, or the conditional part, rather, is the same. If you mix red and blue, you get purple. Should you mix red and blue, you get purple. Okay? Should you mix red and blue, you get purple. Okay? If I have a problem, if you have a problem, study more on the weekend. Should you have a problem, study more on the weekend. So remember, out loud, make sure you're answering these out loud, en voz alta. If he calls, tell him I'm not here. Should, so with this should he call, infinitive, subject, infinitive, should he call, tell him I'm not here. Okay? If it's hot, drink lots of water. Should it be hot, drink lots of water. If the battery goes dead, recharge it. Should the battery go dead, recharge it. If the plants don't get enough water, they die. It's true. Should the plants not get enough water, they die. If you use the stove, turn it off before you leave the house. Should you leave the stove? Should you use the stove, turn it off before you leave the house. This is we also use these for facts, like where I said if plants don't get enough water, they'll die. Or I could say, if you freeze water, it becomes a solid. Should you freeze water, it becomes a solid. It does. Yeah. All right, good. So now we will move on to something new. What should we do? For those of you who listen to the show every day, you must know what happens now, don't you? Do you know what time it is? That's right. It's time for the
Expression of the Day.
Yes, that's right. That's the little jingle, the ráfaga, the jingle that indicates the expression of the day. And our expression of the day today is to take the heat. To take the heat. Yes. Now, I don't mean, to take something is almost like to aguantar. To take it, to take the heat. But here, to take the heat means to receive a lot of criticism, but handle it. To be able to manage and deal with and handle, aguantar, criticism that you receive. To take the heat. The politician took a lot of heat for his decisions. Okay? He had to, in Canada in the 1980s, Canadian Prime Minister Brian Mulroney introduced the GST, the Goods and Services Tax. Basically, he said, hey, everybody, we've got a new tax. Now, of course, people don't like paying taxes. People don't like new taxes, so Brian Mulroney took a lot of heat when he introduced that tax. He inherited a government that was heavily in debt, and he came to power in a difficult time, I think, and he had to do some things that were not, make some decisions that weren't popular. He had to, as we say, bite the bullet. And one of them was the introduction of the GST, the Goods and Services Tax. And, he took the heat for that. He took a lot of heat for that, we could say. So the expression is to take the heat, to receive criticism, and to have to handle criticism for a decision that you've made or for something that you've done. Very often it's something that you've done that you think is right, but maybe it's not a popular decision. So politicians, I think that's the best example I can give. Politicians very often have to take the heat for decisions that they make. All right, now we can move into class number 191, some new material, practicing here with there may have been, puede que haya habido, and there definitely wasn't. No hubo en absoluto, pero en absoluto. So are you sure that there wasn't an election in Canada last week? You can say, well, Kyle, there may have been, puede que haya habido, there may have been an election in Canada last week, but I don't know. There may have been an election in Canada last week, but I don't know. Are you sure there wasn't an election in Spain last week? There definitely wasn't an election in Spain last week. Okay. Are you sure there wasn't a fire in your house last night? Yes, Kyle, I'm sure. There definitely wasn't. There definitely wasn't. No hubo en absoluto. There definitely wasn't a fire in my house last night. And in my house, in Kyle's house? Well, there may have been a fire, but I don't know. Okay. Was there a party in your kitchen last night? No, well, Kyle, now in your kitchen, not mine, not Kyle's, but in your kitchen at home. There definitely wasn't a party in my kitchen last night. Okay. Was there a Mexican in my house last night? You don't know. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. So you can say there may have been a Mexican in your house, but I don't know. Was there a baseball game on television last night? En voz alta. There may have been, puede que haya habido, there may have been a baseball game on television, on TV last night, but I don't know. Was there an earthquake in Madrid last week? No, there definitely wasn't an earthquake in Madrid last week. Was there a parade? A parade, like un desfile, a parade in my hometown last summer? Well, there may have been a parade in your hometown, but I don't know, Kyle. I suppose you don't know. Unless you were in my hometown and saw it, you wouldn't know. But in fact, there was. I know there was. I wasn't there, but my parents told me all about it. Yeah, there was a parade in... we always have a parade on Canada Day, which is the 1st of July. All right, let's move on now and take a look at our vocabulary of the day. Vocabulary of the day. All right, it's time now for our vocabulary of the day, our 5 words of vocabulary. The first word today is regañar, regañar, which is to tell off, to tell someone off. So this is a separable phrasal verb. He told me off. I can't believe he told me off. He stole my watch and I told him off. To tell someone off. Someterse a. This is to undergo. To undergo surgery, for example. You're very passive when you're undergoing something. You're sitting there and it's just happening to you. I had to undergo surgery last year. I had to undergo an operation. Actually, I didn't, but as a grammatical example, to undergo surgery, for example, an operation, to undergo tests. Resolver. Okay, solve. Yes, it could be solve. That's right, Maria. But to work out. To work out. We have to work out this problem. We have some problems to work out. We can work it out. Don't worry, we can work it out. Tema de conversación. Topic. Finally, inconsciente. We say unconscious. Right. Okay, unconscious. Now, this is interesting because consciente, ser consciente de, really is to be aware of. Okay, 9 times out of 10, ser consciente de, we say to be aware of. Conscious, it's best for you to consider conscious as the opposite of unconscious. You get hit on the head, and you fall down, and you go unconscious. It's like you're asleep. You're unconscious. You don't know what's happening. You're taken to the hospital, and you're still unconscious. Then you wake up, and the nurse runs in. Oh, my gosh, he just woke up. He's conscious. Doctor, come quick. He's conscious. So you regain consciousness. You become conscious. But aware is consciente, ser consciente de, to be aware of something, to have knowledge of some fact, let's say. All right? Okay, let's move now into the last portion of today's class. The last section here, we're practicing basically the same as the previous section, but here now with there may be, puede que haya, there may be, and there definitely isn't, or there definitely aren't. Seguro que no hay. Okay? So, for example, are there any Eskimos, Esquimales? Are there any Eskimos in Finland? Well, there may be Eskimos. But I don't know. Are there any ants? Hormigas? Are there any ants in your kitchen? There may be ants in my kitchen, but I don't know. Are there any Spanish people in the studio today? There may be Spanish people in the studio today, but I'm not sure. Is there a statue in the Puerta del Sol? There definitely is a statue in the Puerta del Sol. Are there any tourists in Barcelona today? Yes, there are definitely tourists in Barcelona today. Is there an earthquake happening right now in Madrid? No, there definitely isn't an earthquake happening right now in Madrid. Are there any hotels in Alicante? Yes, there are definitely hotels in Alicante. Is there $1 million in my pocket? No, there isn't. No. So you can say there definitely isn't $1 million in my pocket. There definitely aren't 100 elephants in this room, for example. All right, so there you go. That was our last point for today. We will review this topic tomorrow and much more, as always. So please stick around. Well, tomorrow, come back, I should say. Come back and listen again at the same time. We only have 4 more classes to go. So be sure to tune in and make the most of them. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.